Good morning, students. In the last class, we have started about Mendelian experiments in order to understand the inheritance of traits. Mendel has used garden pea plants of contrasting traits. Why Mendel has used garden pea plants, all those things we have already discussed in the last class. Because the garden pea plants have got many or different traits of contrasting characters, and they can be grown in a small space since the plant size is very small and the maturity period of the plant is less. So in a short span of time we can grow many generations of plants, during which we can understand the inheritance of the traits in these plants. Why Mendel has conducted the crossing experiments in garden pea plants? Mendel has conducted the crossing experiments between the garden pea plants of contrasting traits in order to understand the mechanism of inheritance of the traits and to propose the laws or rules of inheritance. What does it mean by pea plants of contrasting traits? What does it mean by pea plants of contrasting traits? All the explanation itself I have written like a notes for your better understanding. You need to write it and you need to learn it clearly. Listen. If two pea plants exhibit contrasting traits for a given character, then they are said to be pea plants of contrasting traits. For example, for character height, Mendel has taken tall and short as contrasting traits. So tall and short, these two are traits of the character height. So these two are pea plants of contrasting traits for a given character. Like that, pea plants of contrasting traits for some other character. Pea plants of contrasting traits for some other character, like that. Okay. For the number of different characters, he has chosen the pea plants with contrasting traits. Mendel has taken tall pea plants and short pea plants as pea plants of contrasting traits for character height. We have kept on using a word crossing. What is this crossing? If the transfer of male gametes occurs between two different pea plants, then it is called crossing. Or if fertilization of male and female gametes occurs between two different plants, then it is known as crossing. In How Do Organisms Reproduce chapter, we have learned that the reproduction is carried out by the fusion of male and female gametes. But how does this fusion of male and female gametes is achieved? First, pollen is transferred to the stigma by pollination process. Then pollen germination makes the male gametes to reach the female gametes. Then fertilization occurs. Right? So the same thing we are going to use it here. The pollen of one pea plant is transferred to the stigma of other pea plant. Here itself crossing is over. The result is next fertilization followed by the seed formation, and from the seed the next generation plants are going to be obtained. Monohybrid cross. What is monohybrid cross? Initially, Mendel has conducted crossing experiments between two pure pea plants of contrasting traits for one character. Pure pea plants of contrasting traits for one character. What does it mean by that? Pure plant for a trait will have the two alleles, the copies of genetic information for the same trait. What does it mean by pure plant? Pure plant for a trait will have the two alleles or two copies of genetic information for the same trait. Means genetic information for tallness, genetic information for again tallness. If two copies such two same genetic information having copies are there, then that plant is pure for that particular trait. What is monohybrid cross? The cross that is conducted between the plants of contrasting traits for only one character is called monohybrid cross. Mendel has initially chosen pure tall plants and pure short plants for his monohybrid cross experiments. Pure tall plants, I already told you, both the copies of genetic information for the trait tallness are same. Pure tall plants can be symbolically shown as capital T and capital T. And pure short plants can be symbolically shown as small t, small t, in order for our better understanding. Now coming to the cross. First, parental generation. Pure tall, that is capital T, and pure short, small t and small t. So this capital T, it is explaining pure tall. And this small t, it is explaining pure short. So P generation means parental generation. These two are parental plants. When crossing is conducted between these two plants, we will get a F1 generation of progeny. What is F1? First filial generation. So F1 generation refers to first filial generation. Here, see, in parental plants, there is genetic information for tallness in pure tall plants. There is genetic information for shortness in pure short plants. Right? Pure tall and pure short. But in F1 generation of progeny, that is first filial generation of progeny, all plants are tall plants. F1 generation plants, all of them are tall plants. Then Mendel has conducted the crossing between two F1 tall plants. Means here F1 tall plants are there, many F1 plants, all of them are tall plants. He has taken one F1 tall plant and another F1 tall plant. He has transferred the pollen between these two plants from one to other. And then after fertilization is over, seeds are formed. From the seeds, he got the second generation. That is F2 generation. Okay, second filial generation. Surprisingly, he got a 3:1 ratio of tall and short plants. He got a 3:1 ratio of short and tall plants. Remember. What did Mendel think after crossing between pure tall and pure short? And what are the deviation or difference which he observed both in F1 and F2 generations. Mendel thought that the genetic information for character height was contributed only by pure tall plants in F1 tall plants. Because when he has crossed pure tall and pure short by taking them as parental plants, what did he get? He got all of the progeny of F1 generation in tall condition, in tall character or with tall character. Then what he would have thought? He thought that out of the two parental plants, only one plant, that is pure tall plant, has contributed the genetic information. So the other plant did not contribute anything. Genetic information was not contributed by the other plant. So all of the F1 plants were tall. This was the thought by the Mendel. But did Mendel submit the proponents like that only? No. Did he submit his statements in the same way? Only one parent contributes the genetic information to the children like that. Did he submit? No. What did he do then? He has taken the F1 tall plant and another F1 tall plant and conducted crossing between them. And both of them are F1 tall. So when pollen is transferred between two tall plants of F1 generation, instead of considering it as a crossing, you can consider that it is a selfing, because both of them are having same type of traits. So Mendel thought that it is selfing. So when he has conducted crossing between one F1 tall plant and another F1 tall plant, what he thought? When pure tall and pure short were crossed, he got all tall plants in F1 generation. And when one tall plant and another tall plant is crossed, automatically you should get all tall plants only. But which tall plants he has taken? Has he taken pure tall plants of parental generation? No, he has taken the F1 tall plants. F1 tall plants. And he has just conducted selfing between one F1 tall plant and another F1 tall plant. So instead of getting all tall plants in F2 generation, to his surprise, Mendel got tall and short plants in 3:1 ratio. These results have showed that the genetic information for character height in F1 tall plants was contributed by both of the parental plants, that is pure tall plant and pure short plant. Both have contributed the genetic information for their respective traits. That is, from pure tall plant, pure tall plant has provided the genetic information for tallness, and from pure short plant, the genetic information for shortness was contributed to the F1 plants. That means F1 tall plants are having one capital T and one small t as the genetic information in them. Here we are using this capital T, small t letters in order to express the copies of genetic information. Capital T's and small t, they are used in order to express the copies of genetic information, or simply to say alleles. Right? That means F1 tall plant are having one capital T and one small t, or capital T, small t combination of genetic information for the character height. But it is having a combination of capital T, small t. But what was the expressed outcome of this character height? Intermediate height or short height or tall height? Tall height. Okay, right? Though this plant, F1 plant, is having genetic information for both of the traits, both tall and short. It is expressing which trait? Only tallness in F1 generation. How can you say that the F1 plant is having the genetic information acquired from both the parents? Because capital T came from capital T are pure tall plant, and the small t came from small t, pure short plant. So when capital T and small t plants had a cross, okay, like this. See here, and capital T and small t, okay, plants had a cross like this. Capital T, small t. These are the plants, pure plants. And the genetic information from the capital T plant, it is only one capital T. And the genetic information from the small t plant, it is only one small t. Because we know that during the sexual reproduction, only half the amount of genetic information is contributed, right? So Mendel also thought, without knowing any knowledge during that time, he thought some information is passed on from the, okay, from one plant and from another plant also, which are taken for crossing. And see, capital T here it is coming as capital T, and small t it is coming as small t. So both of them are combined in F1 plant. So in F1 generation, capital T, small t, this is the obtained genetic information in F1 plant. What is the expressed trait of the plant that it is having capital T combination of genetic information? Tall. What is the expressed trait of the plant that is having small t combination of genetic information? Short. Then if capital T, small t, neither both capital T's nor both small t's, one capital T, one small t, it is there in the F1 plant, then what should be its genetic expressed trait? Intermediate, because there is half genetic information for tallness, half genetic information for shortness. But are we getting intermediate height plants? No. Instead of being intermediate in height, why F1 capital T, small t plants were tall? All these questions are asked by the Mendel after both of the experiments are over. That is, after getting F2 generation plants, then he got. Then he has just concluded that it is because the small t copy of genetic information could not be expressed in combination with the capital T. It can only express itself only in combination with another small t. Whereas the capital T copy of genetic information could express itself when it is in combination with another capital T or when it is in combination with a small t also. So capital T, it is expressing itself when it is in combination with a small t also. You and your friend, both of them are there, which are having different opinions. When you and some other friend is there who is having of the same opinion to you, you both express your opinion. And your friend who is having different opinion and some of his other friend was there with the same opinion, both of them express their opinion. But when you and with your friend of different opinion are there, and you could not express your opinion or at least half of your opinion, and only your friend is able to express his opinion, full of his opinion without taking at least half of your opinion, then what do you feel? He is dominating over you, right? So same thing here, capital T is dominant over small t. So only all capital T, small t F1 plants were tall because capital T is dominant over small t. Even though they have small t genetic information, still capital T only was expressed because capital T is dominant over small t. When F1 tall and another F1 tall crossing was carried out, like this, F1 tall capital T, small t, and another F1 tall capital T, small t. Remember, both have the same capital T, small t genetic information. So this can be considered what? Selfing instead of crossing. So when it is carried out, when the crossing between one F1 tall and another F1 tall was carried out. Okay, it can be considered what? Selfing. See, this is the clear picture of this F1 tall versus F1 tall crossing. So F1 tall is having what genetic information? Capital T, small t. Another F1 tall also capital T, small t. If both of them are capital T, then only one capital T will be the half genetic information. But here what is happening? One capital T is there, one small t is there. So they produce the gametes with a capital T 50%, small t 50%. Same here, capital T 50%, small t 50%. Now let us take what sort of possible combinations are going to be held in the progeny. Capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, small t, capital T, small t, small t. So this is the contributed genetic information, and this is the obtained genetic information in F2 generation. So capital T, when both of them are for tallness trait, tallness only is expressed. Capital T, small t, when they are in combination, tallness only is expressed. Why? Capital T is dominant over small t. Same thing here. Capital T is dominant over small t. When small t and small t combination is there, when both of you are weak, but still, if two weak persons are there together, you are going to express your opinion only. Na? So, that shortness is expressed. Thus, 3:1 ratio of tall and short plants are obtained in F2 generation when two F1 tall plants were selfed. In F2 generation, all progeny plants were not tall, even though the progeny was obtained by the crossing between two tall plants of F1 generation. What is happening? Only 3/4 of them were tall and 1/4 of the plants were short. It shows that for every trait, two copies of the trait are inherited from parents to the offspring in sexually reproducing organisms. These two copies may be identical, like capital T, or small t, or may be different, that is capital T, small t. That depends on the parental genetic combinations, right? So, details about the results of these experiments in terms of law of dominance, law of segregation, all those things we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.